I robot for Robomagellan, sponsored by
Mind's Eye.
And we are going to try and compete in Robomagellan with it. And,
except for my Lego bumper.
so she did a great job. We've got some really cool stuff on here. We got the IME mounted up top. We did mount the Connect on there, and then we also have an RP LiDAR underneath a sun shield here. So we have a LiDAR. It's that $400 LiDAR that just came out, developer version. So pretty exciting. $400 is finally reasonable for hobbyists. Maybe a little expensive for hobbyists, but for hobbyists to be able to purchase a LiDAR, and it's got some working code. And then Adam, everybody knows Adam, he was good enough to transpose the driving software from C over into Java. Maybe I'm using the wrong terms, but he ported it from C over into Java so we could run it in processing. And so that's where we're at right now. Is Carol did a great job of putting this all together and making it 6 wheels. It's got a single drive shaft that drives all 6 wheels, and then it uses 4-point steering, Ackerman steering to turn. So
and then 2 motors and 2 batteries.
2 motors, 2 batteries.
My husband makes the plates for all the stuff I do. I do in Libra, I do a design for the plates, and then he makes those for me.
You contract that out? I mean, as far as, would you be a contractor, somebody says I want a plate?
Ask him, he makes the plates.
So I'll show you the RP LiDAR, since this is pretty exciting too.
We did this because his big Felix platform was too heavy.
Yeah, Felix is too big, so we needed some sort of a platform, and Carol was good enough to say, hey, let's get you one to work. So, and she put it together in a couple of weeks, so since the last meeting, did a great job of it. And now it's a matter of getting all the sensors and everything to work together and get it to drive. The fun part though was being able to add the RP LiDAR, and she mounted that in there really great. And so you can see it spinning around. It's spinning around at 5 hertz. And then this is running on the, yeah, I don't know if you can see it very well in there. Yeah, it makes a little bit of noise. I mean, it's first iteration, so I'm not sure, you know, as far as LiDAR goes, if it's going to be a real workhorse, if you're going to be able to run it, you know, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for a couple of weeks. Because you can hear a little bit of, you know, if it's on bearings, it should be really smooth and quiet, like whisper quiet, but you can hear like a record player kind of spinning. So something in there is wearing, so I can't imagine it'll run continuous for days.
It was a device that runs for days at a time.
Good joke with that.
Those were in the days of vinyl. This was last millennium.
So put your hand in front.
Okay, so if you point up to the screen here, we might be able to see. So I blew up the dots really big. You know, these are just individual single points, reflections, and you can see the wall on the outside. Let's see here if I can see the red. In the very center is the red dot right here. That's the actual LiDAR unit. There's some backscatter behind it of this frame. And then, let's see if I move around it here, you might be able to see. You see me on the green next to it, right? And here's my arm, wiggling in front, directly in front of it.
So is that me back there?
I can't, it's hard to tell exactly what, you know, because this is only a 2-dimensional representation from looking down from above. But
why were you green and the rest of it's red?
so the red is
It knows who the owner is.
that's the
It likes him better.
that's
Carbon light.
yeah, that's basically how it has a. Forgive me, my brain's a little fuzzy. I was up really late last night. How well it believes that it's getting a return, so the quality of the return signal. So it's getting a really good return off me, so I'm green. My arms are kind of orange. The walls, because those are distance, it's getting a return, but they're a little, you know, inconsistent. So those are red, but yeah, it's all sort of, and you can adjust that, you know, threshold. I'm just for visual display showing what it is, but it's pretty good, you know, for $400. for a two-dimensional, and it works outside. I did run it outside in the sunlight, and well, you don't have that distance, right? You don't have 10 meters out or whatever that you're able to get with the LiDAR. It works good enough for obstacle detection
We can
within
see
the
our
first
arms.
meter or so, yeah.
The little red, yeah, that.
Yeah, so, you know, finally, something reasonably priced to be able to, and you could have done this, I guess, before with the vacuum cleaner one. They had the vacuum cleaner one.
It is the vacuum cleaner.
It is basically just repurposed, that makes sense. Because it looks the same.
It's the same price too, which probably takes me. The vacuum cleaner is $398 and this is $398.
$398, so they actually threw away the vacuum cleaner, took the LiDAR, and I think it's great, you know, they should have done it to begin with.
Well,
I didn't need a vacuum
Last
cleaner.
time we talked, we were trying to get one, so I kind of.
Oh, no, yeah, I was looking
Yeah, I
at it.
looked it up on the web, and that's what I found. It's out of the vacuum cleaner.
Can't beat that.
But then always thought, and we were like, no, that's why I got the Connect.
Oh, well, no. So the Connect, you know, of course, it doesn't work really well outside. So if you're going to try and compete in Robomagellan, all your eggs in one basket if the weather's sunny. Right? If it's grade A, you great, you know, you can see.
So you need to run Robothon in February.
Yeah, so, or at night. We run Robothon at night, I'm good. But, so if it's a gray sky, I'll have really good, you know, depth of field vision. But if it's sunny, I need to still be able to have collision avoidance, and so the RP LiDAR works.
We could make a sunshade for the Connect.
What's that?
Shield make any difference?
They run it without the shield or with the shield?
Yeah, so I just very, very rough preliminary tests. I haven't had a whole lot of time with it on the chassis. She just actually finished this up Wednesday, and I got it Wednesday, and so I've been working on the motor controls for it. Yeah. With the twins and everything, I've got it.
Oh, his girls are busy too, believe me.
But so it is, you know, you of course don't want to direct sunlight going into the sensor. They say that can damage it. I don't want to risk that at all. So I was being very careful with it. You do end up with some scattering effect of the light bouncing off of the stone. When I had it out in the sunlight, there was some stray light that was somehow bleeding into it somehow and giving it erroneous readings. So trying to reduce that as much as possible by giving it a shield, you know, something to help reduce that any stray light that comes in there. Surprisingly, I think that like this green LED actually, I think I noticed, and I'll have to play with it more, actually the stray light from that will affect it a little bit too, so if it's pointed like right directly at it. But I'll have to play with it more and see what can be filtered out. See how consistently you can rely on the different readings to be responsive, right?
So the receiver on it doesn't have a filter?
You can turn on software they supply, that's the rest.
Yeah, the software they supplied, but we just actually took basically the raw signal coming off the unit in their software and ported that over to Java. But basically all it's doing is just taking readings, you know, 0 to 360 degrees with the distance length, you know, it has a distance measurement. So it's not being filtered ahead of time. Then it has, I think, a quality number, which is, I think, has $3.
With the stray light from the sun damaging it, is that just the intensity of the visible light, or is that saying the UV that's doing it?
That I'm not sure of. That was just recommended on the website and also on the manual. So I don't really truly know.
Because I'm just thinking, say, if you see it's a cloudy day, so you go driving around, but it turns out it's the UV that's doing the damage.
Right. Wouldn't make any difference. Right,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
It's just like any CMOS camera, you wouldn't pick it up when it's,
sun, yeah, you know, yeah, sure.
Well, that's what I've been doing to all my.
And yeah, right. Quickest way to ruin your camera is to try and take a picture of your laser. So anyway, a lot of fun, $400. Any other questions? Cool. Thanks, Carol, for sponsoring it.
Didn't cost me anything except labor.
Vince.
I got Mike from Mind's Eye to go ahead and sponsor it, so. And there'll be Mind's Eye posting stickers on it when it's out.